my name is Michael Green, and with me I have Sean Tobin, who is a drummer, drumming teacher, guitarist and performer. So what I would like to know, Sean, is where did it all start? What got you into playing the drums?
Drumming for me, I guess, was it was a big push through friends. I wasn't a musical kid at all. I didn't grow up with music. Well, that's kind of a lie, actually. My dad was musical. He played in function bands and stuff like that. He's a brass player. He still is a brass player. He's not passed on. He's still here. He did that for kind of 10, 15 years while I was growing up. And so I was always around Dad not being in the house, but for some unknown reason while I was young. So I guess that only became like evident what was going on when I was kind of older. But music for me really came into my life when I met a certain group of friends and they just said, give it a go. And so I wasn't musical. I was just a kid going to school, trying to be as sporty and as good at sports as I could, and then it just switched from there. Yeah.
Well done to those friends who got you into
Thanks,
it.
man.
Yeah. What I'd like to know is, like, as you went into the drums, was there any sort of people you looked toward or looked up to, sort of like inspired you to?
Inspiration wise, it's a hard one. Inspiration really is a hard one because I was so well thought that I didn't need to practice. I was that kid that thought, yeah, I'm so good. I don't need to do anything to get better. I listened to a lot of music. An album for me is Guns N' Roses, Appetite for Destruction, Permission to Land by the Darkness, all of those kind of things. They're modern rock drumming, and I've said it countless times before. Like all these old drummers like John Bonham, they are great and they do deserve praise. But as I say to everybody, just not from me.
No.
I just really dislike what they do. I don't like their music. I sound quite harsh here, but it's just not something that kind of sits well with me. But yeah, so my influence is modern rock drummers. Taylor Hawkins, as a cool teacher on the scene at the moment, in the media, who I follow quite a lot, and he has a lot of good teaching styles and stuff, so I learned a lot from him. But yeah.
Brilliant. And what I'd love to know is, from your point of view, listening to, like, 'cause obviously you had like the old techniques of back in the day when they used to record, but when you listen to a lot of stuff on the radio, like different genres and things like that, with the sort of like the drum sounds that you hear on the radio, what's your views and like?
Well, these days I think everything's very shiny and put together as a singular product, and the drums are made to be part of the music, which is a great thing, but they're just too shiny, too produced, too laminated. They just don't sound like drums anymore, unfortunately. It sounds like someone's, and they probably are, hitting buttons behind a computer to make them kind of appear as drums, but they're certainly not a classical drum sound. So you wouldn't turn on, I don't know, I was cussing at the guys from Led Zeppelin and John Bonham just then, but you wouldn't be able to turn on I don't know, like a Jessie J pop record now and compare the drum sound to Led Zeppelin 2.
Yeah.
They don't sound the same because everything is electronic, it's all overproduced, and it's just really bad for the instrument, I believe. People love it, but it's not my kind of thing.
What I'd love to know, like, say, like, as a session drummer, if there was a session drummer and they had to do these different genres, but they had to recreate those sort of sounds live. I mean,
What's the process for that? It would be through electronics, I guess, and triggers. So it's basically taking away all the effects of a drum kit from a drum kit. Like, as a drum kit, you're supposed to tune up all the skins and make it sound good, but if you want a specific sound, you need to buy a very specific kit. You need to hit the skins in a very specific way. You need to have the skins at a certain tightness, but that's not going to recreate a sound because it's all about the room that you're in. Like, usually, and mic positioning and whatever. It's all got to a stage now where it's just so much easier to rely on electronics and triggers, so when you hit it you get the exact MP3 patch going through the PA system. Because the venue's so big they can't actually hear the drum, it's just going through the PA system, so it's a sorry state of affairs, unfortunately.
a lot more technical now.
Yeah, it is, and that's why all these big drummers need all these huge drum techs and huge teams. There are some bands at the moment that take 2 or 3 drum techs with them, and 2 guys to set up their whole drum kit, because it takes a whole day, and then they have to sound check it and get all the patches created. It's crazy. I wouldn't be able to deal with it.
No,
It's stressful, man.
So that's the way modern music is these days.
I guess so. Yeah.
What I'd love to know is from your point of view, because I mean I know you actually teach drums as well.
I do. Yeah.
When you're teaching it, and the importance of like not just being in the band or playing with other musicians and having your head down and concentrating on your playing. The importance of engaging with the band and also engaging with the audience and having that as a band being entertaining.
Yeah, sure. It's a product. You've got to sell a product, and that product is yourself, and you have to sell it by giving the audience as much personality as you can. And whether that be through communicating with the other guys in your band and having a good time with them, and as you said, not looking down at the floor and strumming your guitar and playing the drums. Make it exciting for them. So like I mean, me and some fellow musicians and some very good friends of mine, we're very, very kind of pro theatrical music. Let the people watch the music as well as listen to it. You're there to see a rock show, or you're there to see a live performance. You may as well show them something as well, not just you standing there playing your instrument, because they can do that on YouTube.
Yeah,
that's fine. Just sit at home with a cup of tea and watch it all on YouTube. It's fine. It's free as well.
Yeah.
But if you're there watching a live band, you want to see them doing something. You want to see them having a good time, dancing around and running up and down the stage. That's what you want.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just tough. Yeah. So I guess it's just your personality has to push your music, and if you have that personality and that drive to make yourself look good, you're going to sound good as well. It's just the thing. It's like it's just a weird age-old technique, and everyone swears by it.
Have you got any tips, like for people starting out? Have you got any tips for them, like to not just to be concentrating and try to engage? Because I know if you teach somebody, if you give somebody a lesson, and then they're learning and they're out playing with other musicians, what would you say to them to try to be
engaging?
Yeah, or try to.
That's a good one. I think I certainly learned that through failure, and thought, well, I know I can play the drums, I know that, but why is the audience not engaging with my band the way that they engage with that one? Because I'm better than that guy. Like, not to sound arrogant, I'm better than him, and my guitarist is better than that guy. What's the difference? So it's trial and error. There's a technique that a lot of people use. Whoever you can see in the audience, as long as you look at them all directly in the eyes and maintain a couple of seconds eye contact with them, or smile at them in the first 2 minutes, everybody in that front row, then the front row will then pass on the kind of buzz of the music to the next row, and people will get excited because we might not be big famous musicians, but like people value that 2 seconds of eye contact because they think, I'm important, they want me to be here.
Definitely.
And we do.
Brilliant. Finally, what I'd love to know is, taking that on, for people who are just starting out, what tips have you got for them?
In terms of practicing and getting better? Play. Don't practice. Play your drums. That's a really good tip that it's just something that's kind of appeared out of, when I teach my students, it's kind of rung quite true with a lot of people. Don't sit down to practice for 10 minutes a day, sit down to play for 10 minutes a day. Just call it something different and it will go a lot further, because practicing just gives you that impression that you just have to be there, and you have to be reading a document, you have to be watching a tutorial video, you have to be concentrating hard on one thing, and you do that. That is all of the things of playing and getting better, but just approach it differently. Play the drums rather than practice, and just get out there and play with as many different people as you can, because you will only get better when you play with better musicians than you as well. So just get out there and aim to play rather than mess around in a practice room and just do loads of chops and fills all the time, because that's great, and it's really good for our egos as drummers, because it's nice to be able to blaze around the kit at 1 billion miles an hour, but it's not musical and it's not very good. So practice the basics, be able to play a cool groove, just keep it tight, because you're supporting the rest of the band. They don't want to hear you do 30-second note triplet fills all over their lovely soulful R&B song. They just don't want to hear it, nor the audience. As much as you think they do, they really do not. So just play as much as you can and just listen to music, educate yourself.
Brilliant. On that note, thank you very much,
Michael. Thanks.
Very enjoyable. Thanks for watching.